Captain Crystal, and today we're going to make doggy meatballs. This is what I feed Kuma and Charlie instead of the dry dog food, which was not doing so good for them. So anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of how easy it is to make a nice nutritious meal for your puppies. And of course I feed them these easy to make, easy to serve meatballs for me 3 times a day because they are 100-pound dogs. All right, but you can do what you need for your puppy. Did you want some doggy meatballs? Shall we show everyone how to make your doggy meatballs? Yay! I get my meat from the local butchers. These are the leftover grinds which he has underneath in his disposal area. Ask for free or at a discounted rate. It's better than him throwing it into the waste bin. I also use vegetables, basically cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. I also use pumpkins and squashes during special seasons. I use eggshells, which I put in my coffee grinder, and I take the eggshell powder residue and put that also in my mix. Nice source of calcium, and it's free. And of course, nothing would be good enough without my joint and immunity support for my dog's health. This is a great glucosamine complex for my German Shepherds, and they like the taste. That's number 1 when it comes to giving your dog something good to eat. And last but not least, a really good chopping blender. Another item you will need is a deep dish to put your chopped vegetables in so you can roll your meatballs. I also like to use the butcher paper to keep my counters nice and clean. It's fairly easy. The first thing I do is take all my vegetables and begin the chopping process. My dogs are seniors, 10 and 9 years old. And so this is a really easy way for them to eat healthy. It doesn't take much time to do the blending and the chopping. Pour it in your glass dish and keep on going till all your vegetables are done. Now that you have all your blended vegetables, add your egg shell mixture for calcium and your joint and immunity support, or what other supplements you're going to be putting in your dog food. Next comes the making of the meatballs. If you're getting this hamburger from a farm or something, maybe it's the leftovers that they have, you know, you can make the meatballs any size you want, but I like to touch it to make sure there's not any shards in here. My meat comes from my local butcher, and it's the leftover grinds that they have. I have a good size. I've got a 100-pound dog here. You can see Charlie in the background. So you can even make them larger. Remember, once you have made your meatball, if they're too big, you're going to be adding a coating to the outside of them. So you really want to make them so they're not really, really big, because you're going to add a little bit more depth to them once they're rolled into the next size of the next ingredients, which would be your vegetables and your nutrients. What you get from your butcher could be anywhere from a really meaty base to a bone meal, white powdery substance. Keep the bone meal, put it on the side, and then wait till you get a really heavy meat mixture, and then add the two together. That way there's no waste. This is a bone shard that got in the processing. It's a little bit sharp, so be very careful when you're doing this so that you pull those out and get rid of them. Which is why you want to do this with your hands. Next thing I do is I take my meatballs and I roll it into my vegetable and supplemental mixture. This adds another dimension to the meatball, so they're a little bit thicker than when you started. So keep that in mind with the size of your dog. My dogs get 3 of these a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is what they eat as opposed to any of the dry dog food that's out there. I started researching raw meals and raw meat products for my dogs because Charlie got so sick and almost died, and we figured it was from an allergy to dry dog food, not knowing what ingredient was causing his sickness, which ended up in weight loss, hair loss, open sores, and also a yeast infection that came out of his belly button. I figured it would be easier just to try to figure out how to make a raw product that they would like and that would be healthy for them. I have had no problems with Charlie or Kuma getting sick off of any of this product, and they love to eat it, and it's so easy for me to serve it, and it's fast for a girl on the go like me. I like to take my meatballs and put them immediately in my reusable, resealable bags and into the freezer. It appears that once they've been frozen and brought out, they're more of a solid base as opposed to a squishy meatball, and it's way easier to serve the dogs. I don't serve it to them frozen. I do allow them to thaw. We got it done, all right? Doggy meatballs for your puppies. Perfect. Easy peasy.